Hi, Gino with today's thought, and today I'm bringing good news for those friends of ours on the left who are suffering from, it only affects people on the left, mostly people on the left. Now, there are some people such as the Lincoln Project, from whom you don't hear much these days, but that's another story. They were, they call themselves conservative Trump opponents, never Trumpers, that's the term, never Trumpers. And I call them grifters. That's my, never Trumpers, always grifters. You don't hear from them much anymore, but other than them, mostly, and some writers for some website it's like a haven for the insane, called The Bulwark, and you can visit that someday if you want to entertain yourself. I feel sorry for these people, and that's why I'm here with this message today, but especially for our friends on the left, and I refer, of course, to Trump derangement syndrome. It seems that Trump just has to breathe, stand in front of a camera, do anything, and our friends on the left, including members of Congress, just run out into the streets and start basically screaming and complaining, and we have to fight, and we're going to fight them in the streets, we're going to fight them everywhere, and they just, I don't want to, I feel sorry for them, really. I feel sorry for them, and the reason I'm here today is because you may be wondering, can these people be helped? Are they so far over the edge that they're beyond any help? They're just gone, or to put it another way, very simply, is Trump derangement syndrome curable? Can it be cured? Can people suffering from Trump derangement syndrome ever recover and rejoin the world of the sane and the people with common sense and people who can see reality? And my answer, I'm happy to report, is yes. It is curable, and I'm going to prove it today. I'm going to show you a video now of a poor woman. Well, she's not a poor woman anymore, and by poor, I mean, I use that two different ways, as you'll see in a second. You'll hear from her, and, it's just very encouraging. I'll tell you, if you haven't heard of her, her name is Bari Weiss, and if you haven't heard of her, she was a writer, commentator, whatever, at the Wall Street Journal, and then she moved over to the New York Times, and she's Jewish, Bari Weiss, obviously, she's Jewish, and she felt so persecuted and discriminated against and harassed by for being pro-Israel. The way she was treated at the New York Times, she left, and she started something called the Substack. If you haven't heard of Substack, that's a really interesting place too. You can put your own blog. It's a website, and you can have your own blog on Substack, and you can give some free samples of your writing, and then you can take subscribers. People can subscribe, and a lot of people who have, especially people who have been fired, such as Bari Weiss, or have had to leave good positions at prominent, publications and websites, media. They start their own Substack, and in her case, she's got 1 million, as you'll hear in a moment, 1 million subscribers. She's making much, much, much more money than she ever made at the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal combined. And so I'm very happy for her, and I guess I have dreams of having my own Substack someday, but I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to get subscribers for YouTube. Anyways, enough about me. I'm just going to let her tell her story.
It's been reported, and feel free to push back on this, that when Trump won in 2016, you were at the Wall Street Journal and you were sobbing at your desk. Has your view of him evolved since then?
It's a good question. I mean, look, I'm the first to admit that I was a sufferer of what conservatives at the time would have called TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and I was alarmed and really nervous about everything I was reading, and especially And this hasn't changed about his character. And, you know, I'm someone that believes, call me old-fashioned, that everything is sort of downstream of character, and the kinds of things that he had said and the way that he talked and the way I felt he would course in our public discourse, those are all real, and I think all of those things have turned out to be true. What I couldn't have expected, well, there were two things I think that I didn't know in that moment when I was crying at my desk. One would be the sort of overzealous, out-of-touch, hysterical reaction to him, and the kind of illiberalism that was born out of the reaction to him that calls itself democratic, that calls itself progressive, but is actually extraordinarily authoritarian and totalitarian in its impulses, and to me presented a very, very grave danger, and one that I saw intimately at the New York Times, which is where I went after the Wall Street Journal. The other thing that I didn't see was that Trump was going to do a lot of policies that I agreed with. I thought the Abraham Accords were historic and excellent. I thought his policy vis-a-vis Iran was excellent. The economy was better. And look, the argument that the country would unravel and democracy would die in darkness and Trump would be this authoritarian, Hitlerian power, it was impossible to make that argument in the run-up to this election only because Americans had lived through 4 years of him and things didn't fall apart. Now, am I still worried about his character? Am I worried about things like January 6th? Yes, but I would say, you know, the sign of an open mind and the sign of a thinking person is a person that's able to sort of take on new information and adjust your priors and adjust your view. And that's where I'd say I am right now.
That's my thought and my good news for today. Trump derangement syndrome is curable. So let's all hope and pray for our friends on the left that they will recover someday. But until that day comes, thanks for watching today. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your comments always welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.